Edwin's journal. The Lakers' season is now really underway. It was all bad just a week ago, but now LeBron James has returned and the Lakers are stacking wins. Like Lakers head coach J.J. Redick, I too am a Jays aficionado. He referenced the track a week ago, reflecting on how high the Lakers were heading into their road trip before the low of two embarrassing losses to the Thunder and Hawks. However, things can also go from bad to good just as fast. The Lakers finished the road trip with a winning record after back-to-back wins, and upon returning to LA, LeBron James helped them to a win in his season debut. Sure, the Lakers still have 99 problems, but winning in one. LA is now 11-4 and has a fully healthy roster. So, wipe that dirt off your shoulder, JJ, cause the Lakers aren't frontin'. They run this town and the league is next. 5 things I liked and didn't like. 1. No more caveats. With every Laker available now, fans no longer have to add caveats to what they're watching by mentioning LeBron's absence or hypothesize how things would look if the roster were healthy. Against Utah, we saw exactly what Redick would do with every player at his disposal. He went with the same starting 5 he had last year, with the only change being DeAndre Ayton starting over Jackson Hayes. Last season, Redick mentioned wanting a 9-man rotation, and against the Jazz, he went 9 deep. Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Knecht, Adu Thero, Ronnie James, and Maxi Kleber were the odd men out watching when the game's result was still uncertain. It's good to finally get some insight on Redick's perspective on this team. During an 82-game season, take all the victories you can and figure out the minutiae as you go along. And in the end, they won. Regardless of whether you liked it, loved it, or hated it, I'm just happy we can see it. 2. No Jared Vanderbilt? Okay, maybe I'm not just happy about everything we saw. I understand that Vando is a flawed player, but a coach's DNP. Yes, he needs to be better on offense, and his 28.6% shooting from three-point range is abysmal. But can he work through some of that? Can we at least see how he plays alongside LeBron or with some other backup players? Gabe Vincent also made his return on Tuesday against the Jazz, and he immediately played 16 minutes. Is he that far in front of Vando in the hierarchy that he can come in and play that much after being out? On a team that can struggle defensively, and certainly did it in the first half against Utah, it seems even with his flaws, Vando is a player worth finding a role for. 3. Ayton is having fun. Jamorant might have lost his joy after the Lakers pounded his Grizzlies earlier this season, but Ayton is out here living his best life in Los Angeles. He's not just producing well, averaging 16.5 points and 8.8 rebounds, but he's having fun while doing it. Inside Crypto.com arena, you can hear him calling out defensive directions, encouraging his teammates, and demanding a high level of execution. During press conferences, he grins from ear to ear, jokes, and tells great stories. After the team's win over the Bucks, his joy was very apparent, in a very Ayton-like way. After hearing so many rumors about Ayton's attitude and questionable work ethic, it's been great to see none of that. During his introductory press conference, he mentioned wanting to prove the world wrong, and so far, he's more than held up his end of the bargain. 4. Return of the King. The Lakers might very well be Luka Doncic's team, but it's still LeBron's world. His return brought heightened excitement and attention to LA's game against Utah. Considering he hadn't played a professional game in 7 months, he was good. Ayton loved what James provided as a defensive player, while LeBron was happy with his performance after he ended the night with a modest 11 points and an impressive 12 assists. The one-game appetizer LeBron served up was intriguing, and now Lakers fans are eagerly awaiting the rest of the courses. 5. That's Adu Thero's ball. They say you never forget your first. Thero finally made his NBA debut against the Bucks, and while it was just 5 minutes on the floor, he made it worthwhile. Ronnie James stole the ball, then fed Thero the ball. He jammed it home, showing off that elite athleticism that got him drafted. The Lakers' bench went berserk. After the win, Vanderbilt grabbed the ball to give to Thero as a memory of his accomplishment. Then the officials suddenly became the basketball police and insisted that Vando give up the ball. With neither side relenting, eventually, future Laker Giannis Antetokounmpo intervened, grabbed the ball, and gave it to the Lakers. I guess Giannis has so much pull in Milwaukee that he can do things others can't. Shout out to him for making things right. He was once in his own duel for a game ball. In that story, Giannis was the heel, but this time he was the hero. Stat of the week: LeBron's greatness is unprecedented. It seems every time he steps on the court, He's breaking some kind of historical record or climbing up the rankings. On Tuesday, he started his record-setting 23rd NBA season. Do you realize how many players milked their NBA careers and took jobs until every team said no? Remember ancient Shaquille O'Neal playing for the Celtics? That was in his 19th and final year. I'm old enough to have seen the ghost of Robert Parrish ride the bench on the 90s Bulls teams, racking up a couple of extra rings to his jewelry box. He stopped playing after 21 seasons. LeBron, however, isn't coasting on the Lakers bench. He's still a starter, an all-star, and an all-NBA player. Appreciate him playing while you still can, because someday soon you won't be able to. Player of the Week. He makes unreal baskets and dances in celebration. He's the wonder boy that never grew up, but he has turned into one of the best players in the NBA. His name is Luka Doncic, and he's the Player of the Week. Statistically, Luka had everything you'd want. He played in all 3 games this week and averaged 34 points, 7 rebounds, 9.3 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. Every time Luka walks up to the free throw line now, MVP chants rain down on him. If he keeps it up, those will only get louder. Player of the Week. LeBron was a magician with the ball against the Jazz. He had a dozen dimes, but his 6 consecutive assists in the fourth were most impressive. It's another example of LeBron's myriad of ways he can dominate a game. My play of the week was one of the passes that led to an Ayton layup. LeBron receives the ball on the wing before Ayton, who just set an off-ball screen, comes up to set a ball screen. Ayton rolls freely to the basket as both Edwin and his defender, Jusuf Nurkic, were focused on slowing LeBron down. Keon to George is at the nail and could have helped on Ayton, but LaRavia was also a threat at the top of the key and one pass away. You can see him glance at Ayton, but then look at LaRavia and shift closer to him. So what happens when an offensive player like LeBron is driving to the basket? Everyone takes notice. Ace Bailey rotates down but takes a bad angle, leaving a gap for LeBron to dish to Ayton. With George concerned about LaRavia and Cotty Williams on the weak side, trying to prevent a pass to Vincent in the corner, no one can cover enough ground to stop Ayton, and he gets an easy bucket in the restricted area. It takes skill to make the difficult appear easy. In real time, it looked like just LeBron's speed and passing ability got the Lakers 2 points. But it took everyone involved to make it happen. Ayton set 2 screens and rolled perfectly to get open. LaRavia's shooting ability forced George to stay, and Austin Reeves and Vincent did a good job of spacing themselves on the floor, forcing Williams to remain preoccupied with his weak side responsibility. It all blended together in perfect harmony, and it's this level of execution that led to a season-high 140 points. Stories of the week. Evan Mobley is Cavs' quiet star, but his rise could be impossible for NBA to miss. The Athletic. How much help does The Athletic need? They just added another incredible writer to their roster with Miran Fader. Her latest piece on Evan Mobley was a banger and showed more of his personality than most fans had ever seen. As he leans back in a chair, the diamond earring in his right ear glimmers, about as flashy as Mobley gets. He's so soft-spoken that sometimes his voice seems barely audible. He's thoughtful in conversation, taking his time with each word with the same precision he uses on the court. No sentence is a run-on, no dribble is wasted. He knows what some think of him, that he's too quiet, too passive, unable to fully assert himself on the court. It doesn't bother him. They don't know me, Mobley says. The Return of the King, Silver Screen and Roll. When Darius Soriano writes, I read. He is one of the OGs of Lakers blogging, and the only thing that matches his knowledge of the game is his thoughtfulness when writing about it. With LeBron back, he wrote about what it all means, how it could look, and what things will eventually become as he progresses through his 23rd season. Ultimately, then, I think some of what LeBron's return can mean is being overthought and not viewed through the proper lens. Is there the possibility for some adjustment and even short-term pain while everyone gets used to playing together again? Of course. In fact, I would say it's likely. But I think the bigger picture result will be a better Lakers team, and not just because they're adding back a great player, but because some of the things this team needs are the exact things LeBron naturally provides.